Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm coming to you from Imperial Hotel here in Blackpool, England. This is Joe Fanto, President of the World Outdoor Pool Federation. Just seen a couple of young players just lay a break. I can tell you those gentlemen are Adam Davis of England and Callum Singleton from England. They're here to be playing off in the World Masters Men's Singles Final. After an array of in excess of 300 entrants plus other qualifiers, we are down to two. In the 2018 World Masters 8-ball Men's Singles Final, these two young players, they've certainly earned their way to this final. We've got a break, and it doesn't seem like anything has gone down at this stage. It's an open table, and I expect it might have been, I can't tell who actually won the lag, because at the time they are lined up, and I'm not going to try and tell any fibs here. We'll soon find out when the names come up. Yes, that was Callum Singleton who broke.
30 seconds.
And you'll see down the bottom it says 2018 World Masters Ladies Round 2. That's going to change soon to say Men's Final.
Red balls in play.
So that's Adam Davis to the table at the moment, who's just taken reds. So these the reds, of course we know those of us that know Adam Davis, he's very capable, and the way these reds are, I suspect that he might even fancy himself here. He can make a good pot on this red, but he's not going there first because I don't think he likes the angles.
30 seconds.
Take this red left hand pocket. No, he's actually not back himself and decided that he's going to play a safety shot for now. He will. It's not quite a safety shot. He's challenging Callum to maybe try and take that yellow in the bottom left hand pocket there, the bottom right hand pocket. And this match is going to be best of 19, so it's a race to 10. The referee is Matt Ward. So yeah, both players at the moment sort of just being a bit cagey and just doing a little bit of shadow boxing and trying to promote balls. Not prepared to have a go. But Callum had a real genuine chance there. So Adam will be Adam Davis will be coming in on the reds.
30 seconds.
So it's time to take that ball. Just slide that right into the middle. He's now got the other red closest to the white, which will also go in the middle. Both these players have had to play a long series of matches to make their way into this final, so they've certainly had been some big sculpts go down along the way. We'll run through some of this and we'll get the opportunity. But let's stay with the action now. So nice pot on the red into the middle, and he runs through to be where all the action is at this end of the table, the bottom part of the screen. So we've still got the screen reading World Masters Ladies round 2. That really needs to change to be 2018 World Masters men's final, men's singles final. I'm sure that's happening. For any viewers that have only just rushed to the screen and joined us, this is Joe Fanto, President of the World 8-Ball Pool Federation. It's an honour and a privilege to call this match for you today. So he's just trying to promote that red, but I think he would have liked to have done a better job because he hasn't quite covered that pocket. There's still a yellow that sneaks in behind it, that's sitting there on the cushion. You've got that red and yellow on the cushion, so neither player have got command of that pocket. I'm talking about the bottom left-hand pocket on the screen. And of course this is a WPF live stream, World 8-Ball Pool Federation live stream. Wonderful production. Our producer, Yvonne Armitage, doing a great job to put it all together for the World Championships, and of course this Masters tournament which has occurred this weekend. So this is Adam Davis. Looks like he's going to come in and take that red over the pocket, but maybe he did. I don't think he planned that, but I'm not sure why he would have played it in that fashion if he didn't want it to go, because now he's stuck behind that yellow. That's a total snooker, so he may just choose to do a deliberate foul and just hide in that yellow and make his opponent waste the first shot. It's a strategy that is used sometimes when you get into trouble. he's done even better. He's he's gone to try and make it even more difficult for his opponent to pot out by pushing those yellows to an area where they're covered from being potted. But that's where that yellow just top left of screen might come in handy to dislodge that red out of there, and then all of a sudden make the other two yellows pottable. But that's probably a bit further down the track. We'll just concentrate on where we are at the moment. Okay, he must have asked, is it a foul snooker? And the referee's trying to work it out with that other white ball, where he's trying to judge if the white goes past that red and can hit that yellow where the white ball was put on the finest edge. It's got to be middle of both sides. So he's nominated that red ball. It's obviously been adjudicated a foul snooker, so that means he can play his own yellows, but that red for the time being becomes a yellow ball, so he can continue his break and still has two shots here. This is Matt Ward. Matt Ward is the referee that just adjudicated on that call. At the table, of course, we've got Callum Singleton. So he's got a good opportunity here to take the first frame. He's been playing some steady pull, Callum Singleton. I was watching him in the semi-finals. Yeah, he can methodically clear this pocket if he wants to. Obviously one yellow at a time. We still haven't been able to get rid of that little problem down the bottom of the screen which shows ladies round 2. Maybe we might need to wait till the end of the first frame. So this is Callum. Just keep in mind he's still got 2 shots in hand here. So he's quite nicely going through. So you can see how important it was to get that initial decision from the referee of the foul snooker, because it meant that he was able to really get himself out of a bind with that ball that was his balls that were trapped. In fact, now he's still got a break going where he's potted a series of about 5 balls and still got 2 shots with only 2 balls to go, and the black in the open. So any aspiring young players, one of the things you need to do early is learn the rules as well as possible, as early as you can. And you can go to the World 8-Ball Pool Federation website to download a set. So this is Callum Singleton. He seems like he's getting very close to being able to win that all-important first frame. And yes, the bottom of the screen is now corrected. So Callum Singleton goes to a 1-0 lead in this men's Masters final against Adam Davis. Coming to you from the Imperial Hotel here in Blackpool. And we'll just have a look at Callum Singleton and how he got to the final. From the last 64 down, he had quite a impressive scalp. In the round of 64, he defeated Giuseppe D'Imperio 7-3. Then in the round of 32, he defeated Scott Anderson of Scotland 7-5. In the round of 16, he defeated Paul Clack of Australia 8-6. In the round in the quarterfinals, he defeated Rob Sim 8-3, and in the semi-final he defeated Aaron Davis 9-6. So quite an impressive run to the final. And now it's going to be Adam Davis to break, and of course the referee Matt Ward. to make sure that he's got all the balls touching. The players these days are quite particular about that, because the break is all important in this game now. It's just like the serve in tennis. You expect to be able to break, and if not pot out, to at least take control of the table and put yourself in a winning position for the frame. Because at this level, if you dry break too many times in a match, the chances are that you're going to lose the match, because the incoming player will be able to capitalise on the fact that you've broken the balls. There's not too many players that I know going around that try and break very defensive at this level. Everyone commands a good break. And you see this break is to the left side of the pack. Players try all sorts, but he hit the head ball and got very good reaction with the balls. In fact, he's potted 2 red balls. 2 reds, and all the yellows are there, but 2 reds have gone down. And the white's still alive. And the white's in a good position to take a red across to the middle pocket. It looks like just about all the reds go except the one on the left hand cushion, which it does go, but that would require it's a very restricted position in order to get onto that ball and cut it into that top left hand pocket. It may require some sort of promotion. Even the ball close to this yellow near the middle may be restricted. No, in fact that doesn't actually go into this middle pocket from what I can see. So in fact he's chosen to go yellows, which is the opposite denomination to what he had potted. He nominated, you'd have that option on the break, and that is to nominate the other balls if you so prefer. In fact, you are obliged to nominate, even if you go for the decide to go on the ball that you potted, which would have been the reds in this case. But no, Adam Davis decided to go in the opposite denomination, probably because he had those 2 balls that he could see that weren't pottable. So now he'll be able to continue his break on the yellows. It's a nice pot into the middle. I think he might have liked to do a little bit more with the yellow that's on the cushion, but yeah, at this stage he's got a bit of work to do with that one, because it's going nowhere along that rail. Should have that yellow that will go into the middle pocket from memory when we last looked at it. So this is the 2018 World Masters Men's Final. Adam Davis, a former world champion in 2011 in fact, and he's missed the ball to the middle there. So he's let Callum in again, and now this time he's let Callum in with all the balls in a pottable position. He's going to have to try and pot this red into the bottom left and negotiate his way over to the 3 balls closest to the middle of the table, which I reckon he might do by putting a little bit of right hand side on when he pots this. No, he's going totally different. He's going to go to the ball that's in the clear and just slowly pot it right down the end, and he's done it. It was not as easy as they look, those shots, but he gave that ball every chance to go in. So he managed to play a good, accurate, directed shot at the ball and slowly ran that red down. And of course left himself with 3 options to pot whatever way he prefers to go here. Just looking at all the angles and trying to work out which way is going to take him right through the balls. He's done that nicely. Left himself straight on that red near the balk line. So red on the right rail. Just make sure he stays on that and leaves himself a good angle to come off it, so he's still got plenty of space to play this last red on the bottom rail here. And of course you can see where the black is, also on the bottom rail in the opposite pocket on the bottom right. So that's a good position there to get on this red on the right rail and just run it down without too much pressure. And, there shouldn't be any danger here of him snooker himself behind that yellow. Played that's nicely played. Now for the last red. He's got plenty of angle there to play this last red with whatever speed he likes, and just come back off the cushion and then take the black in this bottom left hand pocket. That's nicely done. And now the same for the black. And Callum Singleton approaches the table, pods the black and draws a 2-0 lead. Callum Singleton of England 2, Adam Davis of England 0. So Callum has got a good confident start to this match, and while the referee sets up the balls again, we'll have a look at how Adam Davis got to the final from the last 64. Okay, I can tell you, start with the last 32. In the last 32, Adam Davis beat Nathan Beavers 7-4. In the last 16, massive scalp here, he got Chris Melling 8-7. Great to see Chris Melling back, a double world champion, 8-7. And they're already off to a break here. Callum Singleton breaking again, so he's 2-0. And chance to go to take an even bigger advantage with red ball potted here off the break. The white has stayed up, so he's got a choice on reds, and of course the reds are all out in the open, and the yellows are too. So, and again he prefers yellows. So he's taking the yellow in the middle. Probably he's got a choice of probably take the yellow into the bottom middle pocket here, because he's got the angle to sort of stun back, or just play off the bottom, this bottom of screen cushion to get the angle to get back on that other yellow at the top of screen into the middle as well. There we go. Now he's got to play this with, depending on which way he wants to go to pot out, he'll probably play with a bit of top and come off the cushion for the, I would say for the yellow in the bottom left of screen. We'll see if he takes that up, if he works that way. Let's have a good look at all of them.
30 seconds.
So he's surveying the table, and he would be looking at the break all the way through to the black. Quite slow. From what I can see, the yellow nearest the cue ball should run past either that, or he could be looking to play the plant, as you call it here. Yeah, he's playing the plant, and he's played that beautifully, and that sets up the match, the frame for him here. He's got to work out whether he's going to take this ball on the bottom right pocket. He may look to the bottom left first now. So he's surveying the table. Yeah, that way when he pots that, he's only got one ball to pot to each. Now that was not good. He expected to come back further and put that yellow into the same pocket where he just potted. That wasn't part of the plan, unfortunately. So now he's got to go into damage control. Going up the table. He's played a very good shot. He might even give us a chance to pot, but no, not quite. So unfortunately Callum thought he was going to go to a 3-0 lead here, but doesn't always work out the way you plan in this game. I'm sure he would get it right if he got to play that shot again, but that doesn't happen. We don't get to replay. So what can Adam Davis do here? He's got an opportunity here at least to peg back a frame here
30 seconds.
with Callum's mistake. He can take that red ball into the middle pocket and get a break happening. No, he prefers to take this pocket here because it gives him plenty of insurance. Callum looking at that straight away, and yeah, I can see why he's looking, because there's a big enough gap there to, if not pot that yellow past the red, at least he can disturb that red out of there. But to me it looks like if you play that yellow into that cushion in a particular way, in the correct spot, you'll be able to pot it. So you'll probably pot this ball first, top left hand corner, and got the black in the open here, so he may well be able to, yeah, he's played that with force and cleared everything there and potted the ball, but he may finish too close to the black. That's what you call being on the black, but you don't normally want to be that close to it and that close onto it. So just a couple of slight errors have crept in for both players. So now they're one apiece and not quite finishing that with a position that they would have liked. So what does he do with this? He may be able to force it off the cushion and into the top middle pocket, but no, he's going off the cushion. Going to try and pot it into the middle, I'd say. Exactly right, and just missed it. It was a great effort by Adam Davis there. They look really difficult, those shots, but you know, if you start playing around and practicing on the table, you soon find the angles. So any juniors watching, as one of your exercises, give it a try, and you'll realise that sooner or later you'll find that right angle, and gives you a bit of a thrill when you pot those.
30 seconds.
So Adam Davis, what's he going to do here? He's got to hide for cover. Try and wait for his balls to be in a position that he can pot out, and of course if he can get 2 shots, it's going to certainly help his cause to try and clear the balls. So this is a 2018 World Masters men's final. So it's the World Masters is an event put on by the World 8 Ball Pool Federation in partnership with the English Pool Association and the UK Tour. So in excess of 300 places. So it's a triple. Ooh, he managed to play himself out of it. It was a great out of snooker shot. So Adam Davis has to try something else to get 2 shots. Either that or simply just go for it here, because they're all potable. He's just got those 2 balls next to each other, but there's also an opportunity here that he can play that red into the middle and play into the cluster of 2 balls and disturb them, and then hopefully continue with the break.
30 seconds.
Doesn't seem to be planning to do that.
Get that match started on table 5, guys, please.
Yeah, I didn't think he would be potting that for him to play that way, because if he was playing aggressive to clear the balls, he would have probably gone for that first option to play into the cluster. So instead he's gone for another snooker. He's obviously trying to get 2 shots, but I don't think he's going to get 2 shots here. In fact, he's left that black ball very hittable. In fact, probably very potable. He's playing with a bit of swerve, so it would have even been possible if he'd struck the right swerve to pot that black. So Adam Davis, let's try again. Does he just play a plant here? Does he go for it this time? He may feel comfortable with where the black is for him to go for it, or he might try and hide behind that cluster of 2 balls. Adam Davis, very pensive. What's he thinking? Yeah, he's going to try and hide behind the 2 balls. He's promoted that red across to the bottom right pocket. So again, I suspect he might implement the swerve here. So it's Callum on the black, and this one definitely looks like a total snooker. No, he's going to go off a cushion the way he's lining up, and maybe give that a good chance to pot the black in that top left pocket. So it looks like the plant would just about be on here if he played into those 2 balls. I know they don't. It doesn't look on, but sometimes you play that. You can't see how. If we have an aerial, we'll see how close those 2 balls are. But then it's a question of, it looks like the red at the top end of the table also will go past the black. It's a little bit hard to tell from this angle. If it does, the pot out is on if he wants to go for it. No, he wasn't able to muster up a pot there, and it'd be highly unlikely he'll be able to get the angle to cut that. It is possible, I've seen it done, where even if you execute a little bit of swerve to hit that finest edge. I'll leave it up to Callum, we'll see what he chooses to do here. Just giving that a ride and tried his luck with the cushions. Looks like he must have nearly potted in the middle. The angle that black's come out, it must have just jawed out of the middle pocket. So Adam Davis is still surviving this frame. Got another opportunity here. So this is a 2018 World Masters Men's Final. Your commentator is Joe Fanto, President of the World 8-Ball Pool Federation. It's a pleasure and honour to be able to commentate here for you. And welcome to all you viewers that might have just joined us, wherever you are in the world. And of course in England, because you've got two England boys playing off in the final here. Adam Davis at the table. He has won a World Championship in 2011, so he's certainly capable to take these balls out. So that's number one potted. Two more reds and the black to go. Should be able to negotiate this red into the bottom right hand corner. He's played with top to come off cushion and leave himself plenty of good queuing space to take this last red into the middle, and he's certainly got the angle to take the black in the opposite middle pocket. And Adam Davis will be breathing easier. He's got the first frame here in the third frame. So Adam Davis 1, Callum Singleton 2 in this World Masters Men's Final, as Matt Ward collects the white and proceeds to rack the balls for the next frame. And we'll just run through how Adam Davis got to the final. In the last 32 he defeated Nathan Reeves. In the last 16 he defeated double world champion Chris Melling 8-7. In the quarterfinals he defeated another double world champion in Tom Cousins 8-6. Then he defeated Alex Lewis of Wales 9-6. And here he is in the final against Callum Singleton. So this is a WEPF live stream produced for us by Yvonne Armitage. So the referee's, you can see the white gloves, he's trying to tighten the balls within that triangle, and then of course when he takes the triangle off he's got to try not to disturb them, because the players would like the balls to be making contact as much as possible. So these Masters started back in 2005 was the history of these Masters. Back then it was a professional tour, the English Pool Association and the World 8-Ball Pool Federation initiative, where we decided to put on an extra major tournament right in the middle of the World Championships to give the visiting players an extra major tournament that they could go into, and the principle has worked nicely ever since. So now it's the UK tour, still the World 8-Ball Pool Federation and the English Pool Association that put it on. So it's Adam Davis to break, and he's trailing 1-2 in this match. Just taking their time and restarting. So Adam breaking from the side, but we saw that he hits the head ball. Hit red, Gives it a good old smack. I saw a red flying to the top left. There's a red just dropped in the top right. And yeah, there's six of each still left, so one of each potted. So we'll see which denomination he prefers.
Red ball's in play.
All the reds are out well off the cushion. Yellows have got one on the rail, bottom rail here. But all balls seem pottable. It's just a case of preference as to which way you want to go. And both denominations have got an easy ball to start, to continue the break with. So he's gone reds. Nicely into the middle. With these sort of setups, it's more, I should be able to pot out here and try really hard not to make a mistake. And these players, more often than not, they do pot out here, so let's see if Adam can do that. Yeah, it's still a good angle. That looks like it's gone exactly where he meant it to go. He gives it a little bit of a shake of the head. But he's got a good angle to get on ball into the middle, that red into the middle, either one of the two reds into the middle. Yeah, so he's chosen to go all the way down and take the red into this right middle pocket first, I suspect. And then we'll use some cushion to either cushion or stun back. Looks like he might stun back. Yeah, he's just stunned to stay on that red into the left middle pocket now. Just gently caress that ball into the middle. This red runs into the bottom left, and the black, we can see where that is. That's obviously going into the right middle pocket. And Adam Davis levels the score at 2-2 in this 2018 World Masters Men's Final. This is a best of 19 frames, so it's a race to 10. Singleton is going to break, so he'll get the opportunity with serve, so to speak, or with the break, to now try and get the match into sequence with the breaks. But we know it doesn't normally happen that way. Someone sooner or later does a dry break, and the advantage could go the other way, or you could get one of those long frames where the balls find their way into a very defensive position, and it's hard to commit a player to try and go out, and then they play a tactical game. But we haven't had one of those yet in these first 4 frames. So the referee, at least Matt hasn't had too many problems in setting the balls. Yep. Callum gives it the thumbs up. You saw the little thumb go up there as a seal of approval for the referee. I think that red just decided not to go in the pocket, but the white did. So that's a foul break, but it's just a turnover to the other player there. It's not penalised with 2 shots. Look, and by the look of it, 2 reds have found their way into a pocket somewhere. The breaks seem to be so fast that sometimes you actually miss them. All the yellows are still up. 2 reds have gone down, and the white ball. So Adam gets the table. Only 1 shot though, but those reds. Okay, the red at the bottom of screen here on the left. A little bit awkward because it doesn't seem to be going anywhere unless you can really find a spot between cushion and red. So will he go for yellows? Looks like he is doing that. It's funny, he's actually gone for yellows and played a defensive shot. That's really interesting. So he's chosen to take the 7 balls of the yellows and play his opponent who's only got 5 balls on the table, but he's been able to play a defensive shot with the first shot. So that's an interesting strategy for juniors to take on board. And he would do that because he thinks that they're still better positioned than... now that must be a foul shot. Unless I'm missing something here. So the incoming player has also played the yellows. Unless of course it's remained an open table because he didn't pot. Yes, incoming player has open table. That's correct. Incoming player has open table, and he played yellows and didn't pot anything, so hence it's still an open table. So there was no foul for either player. Yellows are potted now. Incoming player now on reds. Have to think sometimes with the rules. So we haven't been able to see the players' faces to see who's on what ball now. Now we can see Callum Singleton's on the reds and Adam Davis is on the yellows. And it's funny, but off the break it looked like such an open game that somebody was going to clear in no time, and yet this frame is still going and they're still being able to play defensive shots. Interesting. So Callum's on reds, and I think that defensive shot was quite as good as what it was meant to be, because I believe that red, just trying to see if it's must have been to see if it's a total snooker. So he's trying to find the angle to take that red to that top left pocket. So this is the World Masters men's final. That's a very forceful pot there on the yellow, and I believe it would have been exactly to do what he did. Now just clear that red out of there, so that increase the number of pockets that those yellows will go into, because it means that that yellow closest to the red also comes into this bottom right if necessary, bottom right hand pocket if necessary. That's exactly what he just looked at.
30 seconds.
So he's taking that yellow into the middle first. He's got another yellow that he can take there, but he'll probably take... he's going to clear those two balls, middle and closest to the board first. the moment while he's got the opportunity to get that yellow into the middle pocket close to the red. That's it. Ooh, don't think he'd like that because he's left himself with an awkward bridge if he wanted to go on that. Increases the degree of difficulty of the shot here. So he's continued with the plan. He's played out ball control. You saw how he did a steady bridge, and he stayed quite cool. Just walked up to the shot, very decisive, and in one fluent action, just took the shot and was very accurate. And now you see the reason why he moved that red, so that he can run this yellow ball down to the bottom right-hand pocket. He's also able to again, he's not sure that there's a little bit of a grimace because of the fact that he's got a bridge over this red. Adam Davis makes no mistake on the black, and he takes a 3-2 lead for the first time against Callum Singleton in this men's Masters final. So it's a best of 19 frames. That means that they're playing to 10. And Matt Ward, our referee, who's rating the balls. Of course, this afternoon is going to be the opening ceremony for the World Championships. All the teams have arrived now that will be playing in the World Championship. At 5 o'clock will be the opening ceremony, and team events will commence right through till Friday. And on Friday there'll be the finals of all teams and singles of the World Championships with presentation night Friday night, closing off the championships. But of course this is the major event that we put on to complement the World Championships. So this is Aaron Davis from his traditional break position on the left of the pack. Hit the head ball, red ball potted, red ball potted, one red ball potted, and the white is on the left ball cushion, very close to the left ball cushion. So, but at least he's got an easy red into the middle if he wants to take that. He's looking to see where that yellow will play to if he pots the red. That's what he was lining up there. Probably seeing if it will disturb that red which is up against the other. Yeah, I think that's quite favourable. He's got a good position there to be able to pot that red into that top right hand pocket just by those little disturbances. And as you could see, there was no need to bash the balls or play hard. It was just being very calculated as to what would happen with the reaction of the balls once he potted his object ball into the pocket.
30 seconds.
So he makes that pot very nicely. So he's got a good opportunity here to increase his lead after being 2-0 down. So he seems to be to me he seems to be increasing in confidence. He's played nicely back. So he's left himself and this ball in the bottom right hand pocket. And plenty of queuing space for the white ball, which is important because it means that he can put bottom on it if he wants to. But he's going to take that ball into the middle first though. He decided to play off the cushions, the cushion, and comes straight back for perfect position. It's a correct weight on the shot. So then he'll screw back just behind that red, put the red in the same pocket, and it's a nice little angle. Looking at it from there, I may decide to run into the red and play off the cushion and play between those two yellows. Or try and make the white finish up exactly where it is there and play the straight angle.
30 seconds.
And that's exactly where he's tried to go, but he might have left it a bit short there. I think he's mucked that shot up. He may still try the shot, but put just a fraction of swerve in order to get the angle to pot that black into that top left-hand pocket. Because by my natural eye, I think the direct line doesn't quite pot the black. So quite delicately poised at 3-2. He was looking, so it doesn't even look like he's going to, yeah, did not even look like he was going to play for it, and he's avoided the in off. I'm trying to work out what he was trying to do. So that's an amazing shot. He just seemed to play straight into the angle. Maybe he was trying to play defensive, leave the white in a defensive position and bring the black away from there, knowing that he couldn't pot it and wasn't interested in trying any swerve. Anyway, it's Callum now with the opportunity. He's probably surprised that he's getting a shot in this frame. So he's not quite got a snooker, I don't think. I don't believe it's a total. That black seems to be poking out. So Adam can see the edge of this black. No, he tried to hit it direct, and he's potted a ball for his opponent. Mr. Black potted the ball for his opponent. So Callum's got 2 shots now on the yellows, and what we thought originally what might have been a 4-2 lead to Adam Davis, maybe a different result here, but of course Callum's still got to do it, even though he does have 2 shots, and it's not easy for fortunes to turn sometimes. But you wouldn't think Callum was going to miss this opportunity. 2 shots with his 4 yellows in the open. So taking that yellow in the top right hand corner, coming across, yellow into the top left hand corner, gently back. He prefers the yellow into the bottom right. Back nicely to leave perfect angle to put that yellow into the middle and leave himself cleanly on to the black in the opposite middle pocket, and square the match at 3 frames all. Callum Singleton 3, Adam Davis 3. This Masters Men's Final coming to you from the Imperial Hotel in Blackpool, England. Championships. These Masters series started back in 2005, and here we are, 2018, and they've still been continuing on. They've been a great success and very popular with the players. They enjoy coming to the World Championships and having this extra option. And of course the World Championships, they've been going for a bit longer than that. The World Body was formed in 1992, and back in Australia, between New Zealand, Australia and England, and of course the first World Championships progressed from there, and here we are to our 26th World Championship in 2018, with the opening ceremony to start at 5 o'clock this afternoon here in Blackpool. Here we go, and Callum breaks closer to the middle of the table, of course. We saw Adams break much further to the left, with the score all tied up at 3-all. This is a best of 19, which means it's a race to 10. They've still got quite some way to go in this match. They've been playing for just over an hour, for 3 frames all. So it's a nice lie for all the balls, but
30 seconds. Yellow ball dominate.
so the reds were potted, but it looks like yellows have been nominated by Callum, and he takes yellow into the middle. Yeah, there was 2 reds potted off the break, but again, preference is the yellows. We see that quite often these days, because you go for the denomination that looks the most likely that you can pot out with. So he's on his way here. He's only got that yellow which is close to the red there on the left of screen, and he's decided even to play a tactical shot, probably because of that fact that he's got that yellow tied up. And I guess he didn't like his chances of potting that ball and getting onto a ball where he's going to be able to promote that ball that's tied up. So therefore, you delay going for the frame, and wait for a more strategic moment to do so. In the meantime, you're giving the opportunity to your opponent, but of course you do those things at a time when you can see that your opponent's not likely to be potting out on you either. But any youngsters watching, I'd say these are the sort of players you want to watch as far as technique and the way they approach the table, the way they concentrate at the start. They try and map out their shots at the start, but I guess when you're a youngster, more about the technique, the way they bridge, the firm bridge and the cueing action, nice smooth cueing action, where they feather as well, where you get into a routine of feathering in a manner which suits you, forming a rhythm. And some of these habits start off as a young player with your coach, or some just have a natural way of doing things that never changes. So there's another strategy shot, just choosing to cover the pocket. No, he didn't purposely miss. He didn't miss that ball. He purposely missed the ball. It was a strategy shot. So if you've just joined us, welcome viewers, wherever you might be watching in the world. At the moment, it's still very suitable to be watching in Australia. Special cheerio to all you Aussies over there. This is Joe Fanto coming to you from the Imperial Hotel here in Blackpool, where the World Championships and this World Masters series is being played. So these 2 players doing a bit of cat and mouse at the moment, trying to manoeuvre themselves into a winning position before they decide that they're going to try and have a crack at taking this frame. And I can tell you I'm learning while I'm watching as well, because I recently tried to go back to to playing after 13 years, and a few of these tactical plays had gone amiss. But it's great to watch these players because when they're in full swing, they seem to be forever trying to break and pot out. And then occasionally you'll see one of these frames where they'll have to slip into a bit of strategy play or defensive play. But I think these two players have probably made this final because they've been the most consistent, very consistent when they've gone for the pot out, but also they've been clever enough to play the probability game and maybe been astute enough to not go out when it was, say, when the odds weren't in their favour that they would. And it's quite a balance to try quite an art to try and pick that moment, because your skillful player will just about feel like he can go out any time. But to run the length of a tournament like this and make the final with such great players, you heard some of the names that they defeated, you know, Chris Milling, two-time world champion. To knock out some of those players and reach your final, there's got to be something special about the way you're playing during that tournament. Here we go, another. So at the moment, it seems to be as much preventing the opponent from winning the frame as much as trying to set yourself up to win the frame as well. So Adam's just moved that red away from the stalemate position. So Callum seems to have the disadvantage here because of that yellow, which is tied up with that red in the top left-hand corner. So you have to say that the advantage at the moment is with Adam Davis in this frame. Surely he's not thinking of giving a deliberate foul here. He's just pushing the red ball down close to that yellow. Now the strategy behind that, I'll be very honest with you, I'm trying to work out. So he's straight away pulled that out. So Adam Davis on reds, Callum on the yellows. And of course these players have got 30 seconds to play their shot. They've got 60 seconds in total. 30 seconds, at the end of 30 seconds, the referee will call 30 seconds to play. And if they haven't played their shot within 60 seconds, then it's a foul. So obviously this is a second shot to Adam Davis, because his opponent had fouled by moving that red to a position that he wasn't in a potable position. But to me here, he's still got an opportunity to pot out here. So he's going to plant this red onto the red over the pocket. He's done that nicely. But obviously he's going to go for the pot out because he can't leave. That yellow does go past the red, so. So he takes that easy ball over the pocket, and no, he hasn't gone in off, but he's kind of lost the position. He didn't mean to finish up that far. So and it's an awkward queuing spot there too, because he probably wants to try and get to the right side of this red. He's going to go for the... What shot's he playing here? He's going to play off the cushion under this red and nearly potted it into the middle. Surely he hadn't snookered himself. So it's Callum Singleton here. He also has an opportunity to pot out here. So we've just seen a couple of errors sneak in within these 6 frames. Well, this is the 7th frame they're playing now, but Callum certainly has a pot out here. Takes these 2 yellows, comes back, takes yellow over the middle, or takes the easy yellow over the right bottom pocket, whichever way he fancies, or because the black's in a position where it goes in quite a few different pockets, so he's nicely around for the quite a reasonable shot on the yellow into the middle pocket. Having a good look at it. Straight into the middle there. Now he's got to play this yellow. He'll probably play a bit of cushion and ball and screw back, so he's in line for that black into the middle pocket. He didn't try and smash it, he just played a good controlled shot.
10-16, South Africa,
Callum Singleton wins frame number 4 to take the lead at 4-3 against Adam Davis. Both these players are from England, so I'm sure there's plenty of players watching around England. So both boys doing you proud. They've done a great job to make the final. They can both be congratulated. And this is the final of the 2018 World Masters men's singles event. The referee, Matt Ward, racking the balls, and he doesn't seem to be having too many problems. Sometimes you'll see that the referees just seem to run into a bit of a patch where they can't seem to get the balls to stick, and because all these players, they're quite I won't say fussy, but they certainly want those balls to be making contact, and then the art of it is for the referee to get them right so they're making contact, and then take the triangle off without disturbing them, so they've got to start all over again. So that was done quite delicately, I think, and he's double checking. So the break's going to be Callum. Can't see where the Callum inspected the balls, and you see that I know the break is Adam Davis, and you see Adam Davis breaks from the left of the pack. He's consistently done that. He hits the head ball, and I think the yellow's disappeared into the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, one yellow's disappeared into the middle, but all the reds are still on the table. So we'll see what he nominates. You've got those 2 yellows stuck to each other near this bottom middle pocket that look interesting. So he's taking his time. He's obviously wants to good look, and he's taking reds. That's the idea of the reds being all clear. Davis, very pensive, chalking his cue, and of course players, even chalking the cue is, different players have got a different way of doing that. They don't want to get too much chalk on there, but some, and obviously most players that I see, they've got a routine of when they chalk the cue and how many times, and some just do it out of habit that if they pause again before they have their shot, they'll need to pull the chalk out again, even though they've probably chalked it more times than what they normally do. Just like Adam is doing at the moment. So the more he thinks, the more time he takes, and the more chalk he gets. And he's obviously got a special way of doing it. So he's just gently rubbing the top. Can't be pressing too hard though, otherwise there'll be a lot of crusted chalk on top of that Q-tip. Go again. Over the years you've had different chalk holders ideas come up. Don't see too many players using them these days. So he's got this ball into the middle, so he'll probably we'll just stun out from here, just stun back, that's it. So he's got a perfect shot on the last couple of balls, and you see that the black's close to the middle pocket as well, so he's just got to keep that white in close there. Now the angle quite how he wants, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays this. He may look to not put the red in the opposite left pocket. He'll probably go, that's it, he's just screwed back so that he can put the red in the same pocket, and then here he is for the black into the middle pocket, and this match is all squared up again at 4-all. Adam Davis 4, Callum Singleton 4, in a race to 10, best of 19. We're coming to you from the Imperial Hotel here in Blackpool, England. It's Joe Fanto in commentary, President of the World 8-Ball Pool Federation, and it's the WPF, World 8-Ball Pool Federation live stream. Our producer Yvonne Armitage, which we thank very much for the production. She's done a wonderful job, and of course we've still got a long way to go because we've got the World Championships starting at 5 o'clock today, and they conclude on Friday the 29th. The referees are very efficient today in getting the balls out. Another nice rack and quickly done. I think the ball must be getting inspected. Must be happy with that because yeah, all the equipment's been put away. And we see this break is just off middle rather than between the middle spot and the bottom cushion, but just as effective. And in fact we've got 2 reds down, no yellows, but only 5 reds left on the table, and everything's potable. Amazing the way that these 2 boys have been breaking. Doesn't matter how they've broken or whether they've been able to, you know, the balls have always come out with a big spread. So they've given the balls every opportunity to get themselves off to a good break and be able to take control of the frame. So at the moment these 2 players are going head to head. It would be very hard for me to split them or to try and predict a winner from here. And again we've got him going for the opposite denomination to what he's potted. Our tendency is always to go for the one where you've already potted 2 balls, but not here. Callum sees that the yellows are more advantageous. In fact, it looks like a training routine, the way those 3 reds are lined up to be potted. Just a practice routine. So he's got the yellow in the middle. He's not going to take that. He's going to take the yellow to the top right and use the middle ball to get onto what looks like the training routine of 3 balls all in a row. He just had a look to see where he wants to finish, and so he didn't have to do anything too fancy there, just a light stun back. We'll take the head ball first. Now probably take the one nearest the cushion into the bottom right hand corner and stun back. Just slowly and gently, got a delicate stroke. And probably take the back bottom left hand corner. That's where he's looking. So we'll probably play off the right rail. Follow through slightly. And it's just off straight, but shouldn't be any problem whatsoever. Singleton takes the lead again in this men's final. He now leads 5-4 against Adam Davis. Both players from England. So I hope you're enjoying watching this wherever you're watching from, his family, friends, and well-wishers that are watching, and fans. Both these players, I'm sure they've got plenty around the country. Adam Davis, a former world champion in 2011, and Callum Singleton, I believe he's also got a fairly good trophy cabinet. I believe he's won a European Championship. So best of 19 frames. It's a race to 10 in this 2018 World Masters men's singles final. So Matt Ward, will he get the thumb of approval? He's collected his equipment. So refereeing is quite an art, and we take it seriously in all the countries. Some more than others. Some have got better structures than others, but yeah, particularly in England, year renowned is probably what we try and model ourselves on, the Referees Association. You've got a set of guidelines. Of course, the world rules is what we play under, the World 8-Ball Pool Federation rules, and they are put together by the World 8-Ball Pool Federation and its members. In fact, at the moment, I might say that we're in transition. We're between now and the 28th of February. Our members have the option to start putting forward any prospective changes that they might believe will be good for the game, for analysis to be taken into consideration at the next annual general meeting next year. And of course, if any changes do get taken up, they'll be taken up from the 1st of January of 2020, because our next annual general meeting will not be until June of 2019. So we've got a break here by Adam Davis, and balls are potted. There's a yellow ball down. No reds. 1, 2, 3. Yes, red ball potted. All yellow balls are in stock, so they're all still above the table. So what will happen this time? I thought he's lining up for the black there, but it's probably that yellow. Again, we've gone for the denomination which we haven't potted. So what that means, the fact that he's missed that ball, is that now it's an open table. So he's lost his advantage basically, and Callum comes in and with an open table, and he gets the option to go for whichever balls he wants. So I guess the dilemma was caused by this red and yellow, which are tied together, bottom left of screen. So I'll be interested to see what Callum goes for. Callum is going to go for, he's going for reds, but he's cannon into the yellow, so he can now pot yellows because it was an open table. And he's obviously going to try and negotiate some way where he pots the ball and disturbs that yellow and red if he tries for the pot out.
30 seconds.
And Yengel might be here to run off. No, not at this point in time. He's still got. He's going to try and run that yellow into the bottom right-hand pocket. Now that's not going to pot. It's got close to the pocket, but certainly hasn't taken command of that pocket. So reds will still go in there. Okay, so Adam Davis, he's in the same predicament, that there's a red and a yellow that are tied up in this bottom left of screen on the table. So and also that the red, the top red on the top left of the table is also not a problem ball, but it's not easily potted because it's very restricted as to where it will go. So that was an interesting shot. He played cannon to pot a ball there. He was probably hoping for a better lie with the finish, but he's still got this ball potted on the top right hand corner. But he's choosing to play a defensive shot, and that certainly hasn't come off. I'm sure that yellow passes behind the red and still pots into that top right hand corner if Callum wants to. Again, he hasn't executed that as well as he would have liked. He would have liked to get more contact, get that yellow past the red, either in or over the pocket. So I think Adam Davis might even try and just cover this pocket. He won't. I doubt that he'll try the pot because of these two balls that are tied up here. Yeah, that's much better. That's where he wanted it the first time. So that's an advantageous tactical shot. Can't tell how much we can see. He just played to get it out there, so he's promoted that yellow out of there. It's a good lesson. So because at the end of the day it's a numbers game. If he'd left it there, then he would have not just one ball tied up like that with the one that's close to this red on the right. There would have been two. So the more balls you can have in a potable position, the more pressure you've got on the opponent. So he was trying to get that close to the pocket, or maybe he was trying to knock the red and yellow to break him out. But I can't imagine he'll be trying that, because he's really doing, if he had broken him out, he'd be doing it for his opponent as well. But even though his opponent has got that yellow down there close to the red, it's potable. Anyway, let's have less talking and let's watch the play. Because these players certainly know what they're doing. They don't reach the final of a World Masters with the sort of competition that they've had along the way. Callum's also just tried to promote that yellow. So the sort of players that have gone along the way in their path are Giuseppe D'Imperio, Chris Melling, double world champion, Tom Cousins, double world champion, and of course Adam Davis is a world champion himself in 2011. So Adam is trailing at the moment 4-5 in this match.
30 seconds.
And we've still got this red and yellow tied up, which is kind of causing a little bit of stalemate for the frame because the players are reluctant to go for the out. But if anything, you would say that the way they are, that red balls will be slightly advantaged with the fact that the red is in line with the pocket here. So hence Callan is probably going to try and correct that by playing a deliberate foul and putting the red exactly where he has. And there's certainly an art to achieving that in order to play that shot and not pot the yellow, because then there would have been no advantage. You would have been helping your opponent. So at the moment it's a good shot, and that he simply played to promote the balls, and he's managed to plant onto that on the top right. However, you can see what happened with that yellow, and it's very close to the red at top left hand pocket, left of screen. So all of a sudden reds have lost advantage. There are a disadvantage there as well. So there's a stalemate on the red and yellow right hand pocket, the right hand cushion, right hand bottom of screen. Advantage to yellows, bottom left hand pocket. Advantage yellows, now advantage reds, top left of screen. And he has a shot to play. So what looked like a really spread field has a really spread, what could have been attack compared to what would have been an attacking game. Has been quite a bit of a tactical game, all starting with those two balls that are being tied together that we can see on the bottom right of screen. So Adam's going to give a deliberate foul and say, here you go, pot out if you can. So he's not going to disturb those two balls at the moment, the yellow and red, that's for sure. I wonder if he's going to play this to the top. No, not at all. He's just playing that out.
Second message.
Probably play that, take advantage of that pocket off the red. Now it's Adam's turn again. He's going to try and pot it and break out, disturb those balls. I don't think so. I think he's just going to play onto this red and keep it over the pocket. He seems to be lining up to have a go. He does that and breaks them. That's a lovely shot. And now that red is on down the end, so yes, definitely. That will go down the rail and off the yellow into the pocket. He's just got to get the right position, which he can do. He can probably play with plenty of screw back off the top cushion. this is why he's taking the opportunity to do it now, but how's he playing this? No, he hasn't risked any fancy shots. He's simply going to play the length, nearly the length of the table shot, and try and cut that past. At this level, the players are well capable of playing these shots. Didn't need to try anything fancy like I was suggesting. And probably impossible. Although nothing's impossible for these players. Yeah, he tried to force it. Did that ball go in off? No, it's still there. Yeah, Callum stood up just at the wrong time. It cut off our vision, but now Callum's got 4 balls. They're all potable. White's back on the cushion, so he's got a long pot. If he's long pot, no, he's got. What am I talking about? Long pot. He's got a nice pot over the middle here, which is quite a good way to start the break. Yeah, nudges that to corner right hand pocket. He'll probably take. Is he going to take that one or leave it there for the position ball? He's taking that now. He's playing, just screwing back. Did he come back enough? No, it doesn't look like it. He's got to play the plant. Got to play the plant here. Not sure whether he likes that because it's deceiving. That potted nicely. I thought he needed to play the plant there, but he's got this into the middle and then gets a shot at the black. So Callum's got the chance here to take a 2-frame advantage. It's a lovely shot, and he's played enough work, put enough work on that white so that he could play off the cushion. So you can see the camera work for us, so that now we can get a feel for this last shot on the black by Callum Singleton, who takes a 6-4 lead against Adam Davis in the 2018 World Masters Men's Final. Best of 9 frames, race to 10, coming to you from the Imperial Hotel in Blackpool, England. And this event being staged at the same time as the World Championships. The World Championship singles have been played up until semi-final stages, and opening ceremony 5 o'clock this afternoon, which is in just over 3 hours time. And then of course the World Championships will continue on until Friday the 29th of June at this venue. Finals day will be a big day on the 29th, which will be team finals, men's team finals, and men's singles, women's singles. Well, that's a close look at to see if the balls are touching or not. So again, Callum nearly exactly the same spot, his break. Red ball potted. Red ball potted in the same pocket, and I think he's done that a few times. So there's obviously some sort of formula happening there that he's that he seemed to have been able to work on. The players do work on their break, and because it's such an important part of the game now. You must have a good break at this level, and every frame of these 11 frames that these players have started, you've seen a big break. And again, he's going for the opposite denomination to having potted 2 balls. And that'll be because of that red that's tied up, where they're sitting close to that yellow probably. So now he's going to try and continue his break on the yellows, which he can. He's got that nice simple yellow to take and come out. He's got the yellow into the middle pocket, middle left. He's having a good look at the yellow touching the red, or close to the red, to see if it goes past and is pottable, or whether it needs to be nudged in order to be pottable. Focusing on a pot into the middle by the looks, plus having a good look at that yellow, I think, to see if it goes past the red. So that's a nice pot into the middle. So it looks like he might choose to play that yellow close to the red now that he's got the opportunity with a good position with that white. So now's the time that he feels he can play the most accurate shot on that yellow. Play that gently, and yeah, that's beautifully done. Probably wouldn't have been easy to play that shot from a distance. So now he's got to pot this yellow and work his way back out. Put a little bit of work on the white. And pot with a little bit of force. It's coming out nicely. And that's perfect. To pot either ball. So he's going to take the yellow into the left middle first, I would have thought. See how much, was he going to go, so try and get it, if he goes to the left pocket, he'll go far enough to try and put himself in a position where he's going to be able to hold the white when he puts the last yellow, which that shouldn't be too much of a problem. And just play a very slow shot into. Not sure what he's asking the referee there. He's asking for it to be cleaned. Let's see some chalk on the ball that needs to be cleaned. The referee's got a marker in his pocket all the time. Referees carry lots of little bits and pieces. Yeah, so he'll probably just pot this very slow and leave himself a good chance for the black in the bottom left-hand pocket. So this is Singleton lighting up for this last yellow in the 11th frame. And a race to 10. Just having another good look. He plays quickly but doesn't rush, which is probably a good formula. Has he missed it? He's missed it just when I was going to give him big raps as to the routine he has. He's missed it, and he's given Adam an opportunity here. That was to go 3 frames ahead. That could be a massive turning point. Big difference between 3 ahead and only 1 ahead if Adam can capitalise on that mistake. And as you can see, those reds are all there to Adam to do exactly that. They've both got lovely fluent styles, but I don't want to put the mockers on him. Not much to say here apart from watch Adam Davis clear these balls. They were all nicely set up. He's just right through and take this in the middle. He just stuns across slightly, gives himself a better angle, and that red into the left middle pocket. And Adam Davis, I would say that's the first get out of jail card used. Adam Davis 5, Callum Singleton still leading 6, but that's just been a turnaround of what could have been 7-4 is 6-5, but that's 8 ball. We take it on the chin and get on with it, and I'm sure that's exactly what Callum will do. So there's the trophies for the Masters, for the World Masters men's singles final. Obviously the bigger ones, the champion, and the smaller ones for runner-up. So these players have look like they've taken a bit of a break, including the referee. Well, that might be set up on another table now. The game, the match is progressing. So Matt Ward has racked up the balls in the efficient manner that he's been doing it, and he's been doing quite well. He's just about got it first time every time. He hasn't been requested to do too many re-racks. In fact, I can't remember any. Maybe just one. So that was a big frame for Adam Davis to get. So it looks like there'll be a mini presentation after this match concludes. So this is the 2018 World Masters Men's Final, which all started in 2005 when we decided that we must put on an extra event for the players that come to these World Championships. We've got so many champion players gathered together, and they need a little bit more pull if they come all the way from wherever they come. Some down the freeway here in the UK, some all the way from Australia, from the other side on the bottom of the world. Okay, this is Adam Davis again from that distinctive break from the right, and 2 balls going into the middle pocket, only the bottom middle pocket this time. In fact, another one's disappeared somewhere. I didn't see which pocket they went in. Only 4 red balls left. Yellows didn't like any of the pockets. No, they did. One of them disappeared as well. So we've had 4 balls potted off the break. Adam, what a break. Will it be reds this time? Like the fireworks. Reds, yellows, reds, yellows. No, I think it'll be reds. Well, he might even like the yellows because he can take that yellow and get round the table easier. Which one's he going for? That's, so he's on yellows. Because he's already potted a yellow, it means he stays on yellow. It doesn't matter that he's missed there, because he did pot a yellow off the break and a red. So it's not an open table. His opponent will be on reds, which is Callum, of course. And Callum is going to take. It's really interesting the way he chose to play that ball. I think most players, I think, would have taken one of those easier balls, but he fancied himself to go out if he made that shot. Okay, so that red now has caused a little bit of an issue down there, so straight away the yellow is going to be moved away from there and promoted. And Callum now is on, he's definitely on that red that he's close to, and I don't think they're touching. We'll see if he has to fire away. You know, he's going for it, so it's not touching. And he's managed to pot it. He's got a position where he can play a plant, but it's a fair length of the table. You can also play that red back behind this yellow. That's what he's trying to do. And he's actually played it gently as well, and he's lost the white. The white's disappeared. 2 shots to Adam Davis, who's certainly spotted it, and he's out looking for that white ball. Out looking for the white ball, and started thinking, okay, how am I going to take advantage here? With 2 shots, he should be able to find a way to navigate that yellow near the black into a pocket somewhere. And all the other balls, he only needs 1 shot. Everything's going to plan here. So a few balls disappeared already. You can play the plant here. He's got to make sure he doesn't muck it up and loses any position on this ball. And he's played it beautifully. Didn't get overzealous. He's even moved the black there. But he's very close there, and he's got an awkward bridge. He may try and play this off the cushion. No, he's going to play straight into. That's beautifully done. Didn't panic about the bridge. He's just gone straight up, played the shot, gone around, used the cushion a few inches. He's got a nice angle to pot this yellow into the top left, and the white to go around for the black into the same pocket. Not even need the 2 shots, but he's nudged the black. Nudged the black, but nice position. Black straight into the middle, and again the score is all tied up at 6-all in this match. Adam Davis and Callum Singleton. You can't split them. You can't pick a winner. At least I can't at this stage anyway. And they've got 4 frames to go to the line, both of them playing to 10. Best of 19 frames in the 2018 World Masters Men's Final, coming to you from the Imperial Hotel here in Blackpool, England. Your commentator here is Joe Fanto, President of the World 8-Ball Pool Federation, and this is a World 8-Ball Pool Federation WEPF live stream produced by Yvonne Armitage with assistance from Stan Grant. And the referee flicks the black into the triangle to efficiently complete the break, and gently pulls off the triangle, looks all angles over the top. Does he get the thumbs up? All the equipment's gone, we must be ready to go. Callum Singleton to break from the customary position. The breaks seem to be working for both players. They're getting balls off the break every time, and those middle pockets are really popular this time for red and a yellow. 6 reds, 6 yellows on the table. Which ones do we nominate? It's Callum. There's more reds off the cushion than there is yellows, or close to the cushion. No ball is on the cushion. But I'd say reds. I'd be picking reds. What do the viewers say? Yeah, reds, it looks like it is. Reds it is. And I think reds are all going to disappear this time. It looks like a bit of a spread that you'd put on the practice table when you're at home alone, just having a hit. That one's gone in nicely. Not too much damage for a player of this calibre. He probably would have liked to have been straighter somewhere, but that ball will pot in the bottom right hand corner, and we'll just be able to stun into the middle of the table with a couple of options from there. He's having another, he's gone down just quickly, had a feel, now gone back up again to have another good look. But that's definitely the ball he's got to play. It's a question of what his plan is after that. Yes, that's gone in cleanly, and will it bounce back enough he's left a really fine cut on this ball in the bottom left. Or he can take the red into the top middle, and he's got the black there to hold the white. But not where he would have liked to have finished. I'm sure he would have liked to have finished. He's probably not even going to go for it by the looks. No, he just plays a defensive shot. He figures, I don't need to do this. Might lose my white, and so he's left his opponent snookered. Looks like it didn't take very much for the umpire to make a decision on a total snooker there. So Adam Davis has got to try and play a good defensive shot here. You'd think it's highly unlikely he's going to pot a ball.
30
To
seconds.
me it seems too dangerous to try and to just play deliberate foul and get as close as possible to that red. He's got to hit a yellow and try and leave it in a defensive position. Looks like he hasn't potted it surely. No, he hasn't jumped for joy. I'd say if I'd potted that one I would have been... no, he just played to get out of the snooker, but so Cullen gets opportunity again to pot out. So he'll putt this red in the bottom right and just go around for red in the middle, I would say, in the middle right pocket. And he's left that short. Yeah, he just didn't cue with a smooth arm by the look of it, because he was just rehearsing that as he was walking around to have a look at it. But as you see with these players, they don't panic. They don't panic. There's no point in creating anxiety in your body. You've still got to play the next shot. So they're just staying cool, and it's a big lesson for young players. Don't lose your cool. Don't get upset if you make a mistake, because you've got another shot to come. And he's overcut that. Nearly got lucky, but no. And that's... the pressure must be building in this match. They are playing in the final. And when they've done all the work that they have to get to this final and knocked off some of those big names along the way, and you're only 4 frames away from winning a major title, nerves must be starting to tell a little bit, which you actually saw when he indicated that he must have just got a bit tight. So it's at him at the table now. Probably find a snooker here. Either the ball that he's close to is pretty hard, but there's that ball that he's looking at now that he's aiming for. He may choose to either play a snooker. Yeah, that's what I thought. He's been able to get it close as well. So Callum is also snookered on this red, but there is plenty of room to come off this cushion. Don't think there's enough room to try and get in the back and pot it into the opposite middle pocket. If he wants to be adventurous, he's actually going in and hoping with a bit of luck he might pot it into the middle pocket here. But it was a good shot, good effort, but not quite. And his opponent's certainly going to get an opportunity here to try and pot out. Each one of these is playing for the lead at the moment, just to get their noses in front in this match. Best of 19 frames means that they're aiming for 10. 10 frames is the line. That's the winning line. That's nicely played, because he's left that ball easily pottable into that bottom right hand pocket. Easy to muck up after you've played a plant. But you don't see these players muck up very often after they've played a plant, because they normally know they've got to play with the right direction and pace, and probably more importantly. There's a lovely pot into the middle pocket. Probably pot the same, go for the ball into that same middle pocket. And leave himself in that yellow, which is in the top rail. Put it into the top right hand pocket. Now these players have just been playing just on 2 hours in this match. Yellow into the bottom right hand pocket and swing his white ball out to position to pot that ball in the pocket of preference. He will still have 5 pockets that he can position himself for. That's probably what he's thinking about now. Probably even 6 pockets that he could pot it in, but don't think he'll leave himself on this middle one. He's onto that bottom left hand pocket, which he lines up. And now Adam Davis takes the lead 7-6 against Callum Singleton. It's his turn to be in the lead in the 2018 World Masters men's final. The way he raced off, it looks like he might be going somewhere. There's the trophies again, all set up for presentation in this men's masters, which started I believe a couple of days ago now, but it was a big day yesterday for singles events, which with semi-finals finishing off late yesterday evening, and now we find ourselves in well into this final. We're into the 13th frame. That'd be about to commence the 14th frame out of 19. So if it goes the distance, we're in for 19 frames. So still I can't pick the winner. Yet Adam Davis is 1 frame ahead, but both these players are playing steady pull. They're not going. They don't seem to be going for the frame. If they kind of try and have an element of certainty before they're prepared to take the risk at going for the frame. So Adam Davis still sticking to his reliable. Yes, a ball flew into the middle pocket, but that ball looked like the white, which is not what we want.
Open tight.
That means it's going to be a turnover. In fact, that break probably obviously didn't go the way he planned, but no balls potted, which is pretty rare the way these two players have been breaking. So his opponent, Callum, must be at the table now. He's going to take the yellow over that pocket. And he can either take yellow down the bottom to the bottom right, or yellow into the middle, and the top middle pocket. He takes yellow into the bottom right pocket. So, top right hand pocket, don't think he likes that position. That black's probably preventing him from putting that yellow into the bottom left hand pocket. And I'd say he's also got the red in the way of potting that yellow, which is top left hand pocket. I'd say you can get through and you can slowly nudge that yellow towards the pocket, and you never know, it may get really close enough to fall in, and might fancy himself here. Yeah, exactly what he tried. But leaves a good position, because it's pretty tight for his opponent to pot a ball from there. He has got a really hard ball down in the top right hand pocket. But there's an awkward bridge. You've got the cushion and that yellow ball that you're bridging over to play that shot, plus the length of a good length of the table, three-quarter length of the table. So it's Adam Davis leading 7-6. What will he do here? He's decided to try and play a safety shot, but it's not really a safety shot because his opponent's got this yellow ball, bottom left-hand pocket that he can pot. But he'd prefer not to, obviously.
Second.
Davis. Can he take a two-frame lead in this match? Sometimes it looks like it won't go, but these tables are playing quite fast. Although by now, to me it appears that if it's slowed slightly because we're well into this match. It's still playing quite well. I must admit, during these championships so far, whether it be the World Championships or the Masters, I haven't seen too many times when table length has been called out to level tables. They've been playing a treat, these Supreme tables. Of course, Supreme is one of our major sponsors. We're sincerely thankful to them. And have been for many, many years. That's the logo there. Just next to the World Masters logo, just to the right there is the Supreme logo. And of course Aramuth, and then the World logo. So the partners in this Masters event are the English Pool Association, the World Outdoor Pool Federation, and the UK Pool Tour. Anybody who's just joining us, great to have you with us, wherever you might be viewing this coverage from around the world. It's still not too late to be watching it in the Southern Hemisphere, or on the other side of the world. Got Adam Davis, former world champion 2011 here, is a finalist against Callum Singleton. And they've had to it's a great double by Adam Davis. And I think that red goes into the middle, the one that's close to the black. But this red here is being covered by going into the, I know, it may just sneak in. He's got a problem red there with the yellow covering the top left pocket. He may actually go off the cushion and try and promote the red to this bottom left pocket. That's exactly what he's going to try. In fact, I'm sure he's deliberately played that into the yellow. because the way he aimed, it was quite clearly that white wasn't going to strike the red in the way that the red was going to finish up over the pocket. And the calibre of players we've got here, I'd say he's deliberately played that, which is more a tactical shot, or both would have been a tactical shot, but probably preferred to cover a shot on that yellow. So it's Callum Singleton here, trying to peg the score back to level again, but this frame's probably still in the balance, and you'd have to say slight advantage to Callum because he's at the table. In fact, I think it might be a big advantage to Callum because he's at the table, because he can pot this yellow bottom right, just screw back slightly, line up the yellow for the bottom left, and the black in the left middle. And that's about my span of capability. 2 or 3 shots, not like these players. Now is he too short? But either way, he can position himself on black into this bottom, in this corner pocket, exactly where the yellow is going, and that's a lovely shot. He's just nudged the black out, so that black is going to go into the middle pocket. Callum Singleton levels the match, and will level again. These two players are going neck and neck, appearing to be all the way. They're going to be following each other. Who's going to hit the line first? Callum Singleton 7, Adam Davis 7 in the best of 19, and a race to 10 frames in the 2018 World Masters men's final. There are the trophies that they're both playing for, and of course there's big prize money as well. We're coming to you from the Imperial Hotel here in Blackpool, England, venue of the World Championships. The World Championships start at 5 PM is the opening ceremony. We've now been playing this match for 2¼ hours, and neither player is giving an inch, and the referee maintaining his concentration. Doing a great job with the racking. Seems to be getting it right first time every time, which is nice because it keeps the game flowing, and the players don't have to wait to break. Sometimes if the referee's having trouble with getting those balls racked, it can sort of stop the flow and the run on if a particular player's on a bit of a roll. So it's going to be Callum Singleton to break this next frame, the 15th. So obviously approved. I haven't seen the referee's hands come back. Here we go. And a ball in the middle pocket again. Yellow in the middle pocket. The white is still on the table, so it was a fair break. But I think he might take reds. Black is tied up in there. But reds seem more in the open. It's only the black that at some stage needs to be nudged out if you go for reds. Of course, even if you go for yellows, you're required to nudge it out. Reds it is, I believe. It's a nice shot, and that's going to bounce, and it's still going to be in the open. I believe there's room for that red to get big potted in the bottom left-hand pocket. He's second in from the left cushion. That's exactly the one that he's just potted. So Callum's got a good cannon here, or plant, whichever way we want to call it. So could have a quick frame here. It would be very handy if he could get a quick frame and reverse what was deficit into being ahead. Let's not talk too soon. Still a couple of reds to be potted in the black. We've seen a couple of minor calamities occur in some of these breaks that look like they were going to be elementary for these calibre of players. So far so good for Callum. He's only got one more red to negotiate, and then the black in the middle. You can see that red bottom left hand pocket ready to be potted, and that's lovely. Gets as close as possible without being too close. That's the sort of comfortable black you want to be on when you're shooting for an 8-7 lead in a World Masters final. So Callum Singleton 8, Adam Davis 7 in the 2018 World Masters men's final. It's going to be Matt Ward, referee, to rack the balls again as we get up to the business end of this match. These players are doing a great battle here. You can still not pick them. I just wonder how many more times the lead is going to change between now and the 10th frame, or whether Callum is going to go on and win these last two frames. Somehow I don't think so. Adam Davis has got the break. Will he be able to break and dish? There's only a few moments away. We'll be able to see. I guess the tension is building for both these players. It's been a long journey to make the final. They've already achieved some great wins along the way against some brilliant players. Whoops, the referee's doing a little bit more work than normal in this setting up this set of balls. Yeah, the likes of Tom Cousins and Chris Melling have gone by the wayside, and Giuseppe D'Imperio. So, will it be the former world champion Adam Davis or Callum Singleton? At the moment it's Callum Singleton leading, but it's Adam Davis with the break, and there's only one frame between them. The referee's happy. I think the player must be happy. Adam Davis to break. There's a ball into the top right hand pocket. I keep watching the middle pocket, top middle pocket, because that seems to be the most popular one, but this time it was a top right hand pocket. There's a red ball disappeared, and all the yellows are still present. Where is the white? For all you children out there watching, where did the white go? Because I've certainly lost it. I'm sure it'll appear somewhere. And I don't think Adam Davis is very happy to wherever that white went, because I can see it's just surfaced. And I'm sure it's Callum Singleton's shot. He's only got one, but there's a nice spread of yellows there. He's trying to make up his mind which one he's going to go for first, but whichever one he goes for first, they're all potable. Just be a little bit of tension starting to build. So it'll be the player that can still maintain their smooth cueing action and keep their nerve, that will probably come out on top here in a match which is so progressing so close. They're just going neck and neck all the way. Singleton. He's got the opportunity to take a 9-7 lead here. Very pensive. So you can see he's got a different chalking up action than Adam. So he's going to run that ball that's closest to the rail to the bottom right hand pocket. And he's missed. He's missed. I think he could have choked that a little bit, which is not unusual when you get to this stage of a match. Even the great players do it. So Adam Davis, he gets a reprieve. Gets the opportunity to level the score again, because the red balls are equally potable. You've got 5 balls down that one end of the table. That could all be disappearing very soon. So first one's down. The setup there's just nearly a mirror image, not quite. 2 balls on the left, 2 balls on the right. Question of which side he fancies to go first. I guess somehow he's trying to plan how he's going to get down to this last red ball, which is closest to the bottom of the screen. It's all very well to assume that we're going to put those balls down that end of the table, but he's got to have a bit of a plan as to how he's going to get position on this ball, because it has to run past the yellow and then still give himself a chance on the black to one of these pockets. But let's watch a former world champion do his craft here. Runs through. I think he's left a reasonable angle so that he can play off the cushion. You see him pointing the cue there off the... He wants to get down and get on with it quickly here. He's obviously got a plan and wants to keep his rhythm going. Looks like it's going to be beautifully shaped. I think he'll be reasonably happy with that. Should be able to pot this red, give himself a good chance on the black. I suspect he might leave himself on the top right hand pocket. Or he... Yep, either the top right hand pocket or the middle pocket, whatever he prefers. So the middle pocket looks better now that he's gone down on it. And he's missed. It's had a great look at the pocket. He's gone along the pocket, but it's jawed out. Will that cost him the match? Adam Davis, they're the sort of shots that you wake up in the middle of the night and revisit. Players like me do anyway. I don't know about Adam Davis. He'll probably be able to put it behind him because he knows he's going to play thousands of great shots in the future. But yeah, that was a miss. Gives Callum the opportunity here to really take control. Yeah, with that jokes aside, you need to put those shots behind you and know that you just got to play the next shot and move ahead. That's what all these top players do. They've got a great temperament. There's young Callum Singleton here, just lining up this last yellow. He's looked to pot in the top left-hand corner, play off the cushion and back, and still leave himself a nice angle on this black. And he certainly capitalised. Callum Singleton takes a 9-7 lead against Adam Davis in this 2018 World Masters Men's Singles Final. Coming to you from the Imperial Hotel here in Blackpool in England. And the referee is quick off the mark. He wants to keep this match rolling. It's certainly at the business end of the match. Drawing to a close. It's best of 19 frames. It's a race to 10. They are the trophies they're playing for. So both these players, this is one of the rare occasions where one player has managed to get a 2-frame lead. The referee continues to do his craft and rack up the balls. Extra time this time. Maybe he's getting a little bit nervous as well. Getting in the final stages of this match. Yeah, he started again this time. Looking for the spot. He's lined that, flicks a black in. Seems to be a technique that he likes. He thinks that's good. This is Matt Ward you're watching. He's lifted that. Everybody's happy. Here we go. So Callum Singleton serving for the match, as I would say in tennis. He's got a break in a 9-7 lead, and a yellow ball goes into that middle pocket, that popular top middle pocket, and I think I saw something disappear in the top right-hand corner as well. Yes, there's only 6 yellows and 6 reds. And of course, again, everything is off the cushion, which just seems to be the way with the way these guys break. The way these champions are just able to consistently get reaction off those balls. And of course, the referee seems to know the responsibility of making sure that they're all spotted and tight, and this is the reaction. Will Callum rise to the occasion in this frame, or will he feel the pressure and find a little error somewhere? We certainly wish him well. We wish both players well. They're both magnificent effort to reach this stage in a big tournament like this. And with the class of players that we've had enter this tournament this year, it's a great effort. Even the great Darren Appleton has come back to the fold after come back to play WEPF and in these Masters. Played some great matches. So reds are continuing to drop. Callum Singleton, he's got 4 to go in the black. They're all potable. He just has to pot and find the next position. We'll just watch his craft. I'm sure you at home can try and work out how he's going to go about it, but like to sit back and watch. Here you can see the aerial view. they're all there. This red comes into the bottom middle. The next red will go into the top left by the looks, and probably run through for the red into the middle, or will he? Because look where the black is. There you go. He has a different plan because of just what I said. That black is going to need some sort of way to get into either the middle or the top left-hand pocket. So next shot. Is he too straight on this red? I don't think so, because he can actually send this red straight into the middle pocket, and then he can leave himself an angle on that last red into the same middle pocket to get an angle on the black, possibly into the bottom middle pocket. I think that might be the plan. It looks like it's the plan. Is Callum Singleton getting nervous? Is he feeling any pressure? 2 more shots for the Masters, for the World Masters for 2018. How is Adam Davis feeling? He's done everything he can. It's Callum Singleton's moment. Hasn't quite gone around as much as he would have liked, but it's still very much a potable black into the middle pocket for Callum Singleton for the 2018 World Masters men's singles title. Callum Singleton sends the black for the winning black. Callum Singleton wins 10 frames. Adam Davis 7. Congratulations, Callum Singleton, on a wonderful 2018 World Masters. He is the singles champion 2018. Of course, Adam Davis, worthy runner-up. Both these players had to overcome some massive hurdles along the way, and certainly congratulations to Adam Davis, who's played a great match. They were neck and neck all the way, but Callum just seemed to be able to edge out Adam at the end. He just seemed to get that break. There seemed to be a turning point where a couple of little errors crept in, and Callum Singleton has been able to capitalise, and there was nothing in it between them. A wonderful match by both these players. Congratulations. Thank you to all the viewers, and we'll just wait and see if we're going to get to see the presentation. But I hope you've enjoyed the coverage of the WEPF live stream. Of course, our producer Yvonne Armitage, who's done a wonderful job. So no, the referee is not going to re-rack the balls. The match has concluded. Callum Singleton is the 2018 World Masters singles champion. It's certainly a major crown for him that he'll be very proud of, and he was very, very composed in those last frames to be able to seize the opportunity, pot the pressure balls that he needed to, because from here it's quite easy to call them. They look easy when you've got the aerial shot, but to actually get down there and hold your composure and pot those balls and win the championship, it sounds like a presentation has been made by the sound of the clapping. So this is Joe Fanto, President of the World 8-Ball Pool Federation, just concluding this coverage.
I think he likes this venue, so he seems to do quite well here.
From the Imperial Hotel here in Blackpool. Now stay tuned, because there's going to be lots of matches this evening. The World 8-Ball Pool Federation team events will commence later on in the day. But it's been a pleasure and an honour to commentate for you, and hopefully I can do some more. That's it from me, and look forward to being of service in the not too distant future. Stay tuned to WEPF live stream.
Get in the centre. I'll put the top in the middle of the two, yeah? Just one more, you there, pal. Hold on up in the air for me. Just number one like that.